I just got to say once again, Money, a Love Story, amazing book by Kate. If you don't have it, go out and get it ASAP. So let's talk money, because we've been friends for years, and I love talking about money. I think it's an amazing topic. It's an integral part of our lives. Yeah. I'm really passionate about it. And so many people, especially this time in the world, so many people are struggling financially, and a lot of people aren't. And so there's really a possibility for us all to get to that next level. Yeah. I'm curious, why are you so passionate about this topic?
I really see money as a tool for people to be able to show up in a bigger way. Money is neither negative or positive. It just is a tool for us to make change. And if we've got a lot of financial chaos going on, we're worried about, how am I going to put food on the table? How am I going to pay the rent? Oh my goodness, where's the mortgage going to come from? That takes up a lot of bandwidth, a lot of our creative bandwidth, a lot of our power bandwidth, and we're not able to show up in the same way as if our financial lives were in order and kind of taken care of, so that we could then come over here and do the things that are higher leverage, that are really of service. So getting it together financially is really just a vehicle for being able to show up more fully in your purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that 100%. I think my story, where I started off thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt, and it sucked. It was really hard to think about how to create everything when I was like, oh my God, am I going to have enough to pay rent or to eat or anything like that? And I know for you, you've come a very far way in a short couple of years, personally, financially. So can you tell us a little bit about your story and how big of a change you've made in these past couple of years?
Sure. So I moved to New York when I was 22, and I promptly got myself into about $20,000 worth of credit card debt, probably a little bit more at some points. Yeah. And I didn't even know that was the number until several years in, because I had my head dipped so deeply in the sand, avoiding looking at it. Yeah. I just was like, oh, I'll just spend and spend and spend. And they were on things that were like business stuff and courses. Like, it's not like I had a closet full of Jimmy Choos, but it was still way beyond my means. Yeah. And I noticed I was so unconscious about money, and I was so avoidant, and I was so scared to look at the whole truth.
I have a question for you. So would you get bills? Like, they would come in and you just wouldn't open them. You'd stick them in a drawer. Yeah. So did you pay minimums? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I knew what my minimum was on every card, and I had a lot of them. Yes. So it was like this kind of shell game where I would just pay a little more than the minimum, which made me feel like, oh, I'm making a little progress, but I really wasn't. And I was just in this quagmire.
So how long did it take for you to reach that breaking point where you were like, okay, I've had enough. I got to handle this. Like, I can't do this anymore. It just hurts too much.
It was about 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. It was 4 years of, I always was a good earner. Mm-hmm. So it was never like I couldn't eat or anything. I could always just kind of keep just my little nose above the surface so I could still breathe. Yes. And it was about 4 years that I finally kind of sat myself down and said, you know what, enough is enough. And I realized that I was holding myself back from being able to be in my full ability to make change in the world by being in financial chaos. I knew that was a way I was keeping myself small. Yep. And so I just finally decided to do something about it.
And so let's fast forward. So what are the numbers? Like, how much debt did you get yourself out of, and how fast did you do it?
When I really made some significant changes in my life, I was in about 20,000, it's probably 21,000. And 6 months later, I had paid it all off basically in one fell swoop. And doubled my income and doubled my savings. And it was amazing what happened when I just got my rear in gear and made some critical mindset shifts, which we're going to talk about today. Yes. And it all worked out.
Yeah.
Which kind of shocking, actually.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing when that happens? I love this topic because we're going to dive into these money beliefs. And they're almost like money lies that we're telling ourselves. And if you could just tell yourself the truth, there's this incredible opening that can happen. And literally your whole life really can change just by changing something on the inside.
And fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have to take a long time.
Yeah. I've had some stories from clients and from friends and people that we've had some tough money conversations, not tough between us personally, but just being there and supporting them through it and watching how quickly things can turn around. Even if I've had some people that been in like $100,000, $200,000 debt, even if that number doesn't go away as quickly as yours did, it goes down really fast. But more importantly, who they are in the world changes so significantly.
And that's the whole point.
And the first one that holds us back is someone else should or will do this for me.
We take our financial power and we just give it to somebody else. We're like, it's like so much easier really to just say like, hey, Marie, will you just do this for me? Or, hey, boss, can you just do this for me? Or, hey, Prince Charming, future husband who hasn't showed up yet, like he'll probably take care of it for me. So I'll just bide my time and keep being irresponsible until that point. For me, it was that I hoped that my mom would just take care of it for me someday.
Really?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing to even just say that right now, but it's true. I wrote about it in my book, so it's out there. And that is symptomatic of us really feeling like we're not enough to do it.
Right.
And it's just saying, well, this is too scary. I don't have what it takes. I'm not smart enough. I'm whatever. And so we wait and we never turn on our full potential because we're hoping somebody else will swoop in at some point and save us.
Yeah. It's a big one. I mean, there's certainly been areas in my life where I was thinking that someone else was going to handle it for me. I'm pretty sure money was it back in the day. And it's like, now it almost feels like a different human being that used to think that way. Yeah. But it is. It's a big one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So belief number 2, I'm not good with money. This is a big one.
This is a really big one. Have you ever seen a baby be born and be able to talk and walk?
No, not on YouTube sometimes. But.
Okay. But that pretty much never happens.
Yeah.
We've all learned the skills we have.
Right.
And so to think like you're just not good with money is holding you back. And our beliefs become our actions. We act in accordance with what our beliefs are.
Right.
And then our actions obviously create our results. Like that's just kind of a basic equation for life. And when we think I'm not good with money, we're setting ourselves up for failure, and we actually avoid taking financial steps because we have that thought. So instead, you can take really small actions to start to build your confidence. And the one that I did, again, I was really pretty remedial with this.
Yeah.
So when I started off, I was like, okay, I just am going to check my bank account balance every day. And when I do that, I'm going to give some gratitude for the ways my life is abundant. And I knew if I could just check in with money daily and start being in that relationship and paying attention to it, it would be powerful. And when I started doing that every day, I set a little Google Calendar alarm, 8:30 a.m., check your bank account balance. My income increased and I stopped spending more than I made. It was just like paying attention pays off, and I started to be better and better and better with money because I was paying attention to it.
If you tell yourself you're not good with money, you're never going to take the steps to do anything about it. And it's almost like you just got blinders on. You're never going to take them off.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's easy to change. I love that. I love that simple step though of just checking in daily.
Yes.
And the other thing I like about it is can remove the fear. Because I know for me, there was a time when opening my checkbook was really scary.
Yeah.
And it actually produced physical sensations of wanting to throw up.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't enough in there. At least that's the story I told myself. There was actually enough in there because here I am.
Right.
I didn't disintegrate and I wasn't getting taken off to jail or something. But that was a feeling. So
yeah, and we can train ourselves like Pavlov's dog to spend that time with our bank account and look at it and then automatically say, okay, I'm going to name 3 things in my life that I'm grateful for that feel abundant. And you're training and rewiring your brain so that you're associating looking at your money with feeling good.
I love that.
Yeah.
Money belief number 3. People with money are greedy or it's not spiritual to have money.
Yeah, I know that this is one you actually covered with Marianne Williamson in your audio, which was so fantastic. And when we have a judgment against somebody for having something, and it's very common with money, there's this whole lack mentality of like rich people are greedy or they've stepped on other people to get there or something. First of all, that's assumption. We'd never know, really, how people got where they're at. And chances are pretty good that they worked hard to get there and that they deserve it because of the time they've put in. And when we judge them, automatically our subconscious mind will never allow us to have the abundance or prosperity that we want if we're judging other people for having it.
Yes.
Because why would it let us be the evil person that we're saying, oh, well, you know, they're bad because they have money, or they're
greedy,
selfish, they're greedy,
selfish,
whatever it is.
They're dishonest.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yep.
So anytime that comes up, and also anytime it comes up, oh well, it's not spiritual to be rich,
Yes.
or to have money. Money is a stand-in for what we value. When we add value to somebody else's life, to me, that's a spiritual act.
Yes.
To say, you know what, I see that you have a need, and I have something I can help you with. And then to receive in exchange for that is how it should be. That is the flow. So if we start to see money as a means of value exchange and as a means of how can I look at the world and say, where can I add value? Where can I help somebody? Then the whole thing begins to be rewired and we realize, oh, I will become more prosperous to the degree that I'm able to add value to somebody's life.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thanks. And I get really up in arms about that whole judging people for, not spiritual to have money. Don't get me on my soapbox. Money belief number 4. I'm not blank enough as I eat my hair. I'm not blank enough.
Okay. So I'm not blank enough. It could be I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. I didn't come from the right background. Whatever it is, it's immediately taking you out of the game.
Yeah.
So anytime we don't value ourselves, what ends up happening is when we're out in the world, even if we're providing really good value, if we're not seeing our worth, we're not going to get the value in exchange for that.
Right.
No one will value you more than you value yourself. So we need to learn to value ourselves, and you can really, really practically. I mean, the whole self-love thing, I'm always like, when I hear about it, now I teach
Do you roll your eyes?
I do.
Yeah.
Because and I teach it at the same time.
And I teach it.
Because it's like, it's really important, and pretty much I think the solution to anything is loving yourself more, but it's like, how do I do that?
And what does that mean?
What does that even mean?
Right.
So really practically, what you can do is get out a journal, and every night for at least 21 days, because that's what studies show it takes to form a new habit, write in there 3 things you value about yourself, or 3 ways that you added value to somebody's life that day. So, you could be like, I was so funny today on Marie's TV. Right?
I was so inappropriate.
Right?
I made people laugh.
Exactly. And that was great. Or, I could say, I did a Skype interview today, and I know I added value to whoever is going to watch that one. So whatever it is. And then what we're doing is we're building that muscle.
Yes.
And training ourselves to notice, A, things that we value about ourselves and things that are valuable about us, and B, ways that we've added value to somebody else's life, which will tune our radar in so that during the day we're seeing more opportunities and we're saying like, oh, I could add a little value over there. Oh, there's an opportunity there. And it makes us better business people, and it makes us better humans.
Yes.
So that's a great way to train yourself, and write those 3 things down every day, and it'll make you feel like the next day you'll be like,
I did something.
And it's a fabulous way to celebrate yourself and to increase your value.
So I love that suggestion. Also because, adding value to someone's life could mean smiling.
Oh, absolutely.
It can be an act of kindness.
And the value we receive back, the abundance we receive back, might be financial, and it might be something else. You and I both know that abundance is a lot of different things. It's our health, it's our relationships, it's our peace of mind. I mean, a life that's rich and wealthy is a lot of different things beyond your bank account.